Are you conscious? Are you even alive? It's almost impossible to tell at first. Everything is pitch black. You can't feel a thing. There is no sound. Then, as if a switch has been flicked, it all floods back. Everything hurts. Your head aches and there's a wet trickle running down the back of your neck, and you know it's blood. And you just know it's blood. With some perseverance, you're able to force your poor body to move, slowly testing each extremity for damage. Nothing seems to be broken, at least, except for a cracked head. You blink, but the darkness remains. Panic starts to bubble, and you struggle to calm it. You haven't been buried alive. That can't be what's happened. With trembling hands, you reach out and feel around. Oh! You bite back on the panic again. No matter which way you feel, you only feel rubble. Above, you can feel a new, low, unstable ceiling of broken rock that you dare not to touch for too long. Miraculously, everything has fallen in such a way to give you this small pocket of safety. But for how long? As you continue to feel your way along, your hands land on something that isn't rock hard or concrete. It's soft and still. Oh no. Trash? Oh my god, trash? Your hands move from his legs all the way up to his face, deliberately not dwelling on the fact that every part of him feels soaked. In blood? Trash, trash, come on. You grasp his face and speak in a low, urgent voice. Trash, please wake up. No response. You place your fingers on his throat and shudder with the relief to feel the weak but steady pulse beneath your fingertips. Lana? I'm here. Alive? Yes, unless you're both dead. It wouldn't hurt this much otherwise. Maybe not the time to make the joke, but I'm gonna do it. It wouldn't hurt this much otherwise. Good point. I feel like I got hit by a building. Oh, or mine. Yeah, he kinda did. Can you tell me if anything's broken? Can you tell if anything's broken? Nah, I'm fine. Maybe it's just sweat. Be serious, Trash. I'm telling you, it's fine. It's probably not. There's no way that can be true. Just take your time. Try to move your... No point, babe. Trash? Lana, listen, I don't hurt. Actually, I can't feel anything. Oh no. That's not good. Your spine, or something. It's like being doused in ice-cold water. That's really not good. You really don't need to say that right now. Yeah, I figured. Looks like we're done for this time. Maybe we can dig out? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe you can end up bringing the rest of the man down on your heads. It looks hopeless. You shuffle carefully closer to Trash, and your hand lands on something sharp. His goggle is totally broken. What's up? It's nothing. Now isn't the time. It really isn't. Minutes passed. Maybe hours. Trash's ragged breast let you know he's still there and still alive. I'm sorry. But what? Why is it your fault? We must have disturbed the rats, sent them into panic, caused the explosion. He hisses in pain as he tries to shift. So you do feel pain. Caused the cave-in. Oh god. No, we mean we both talked and stuff. You don't know what to say, so you say nothing. More time passes and you float in darkness until you shiver. There is a sudden chill. Are you going into shock? No, it's a breeze. Blindly, you drag yourself towards it and find a small opening in the rubble with your fingertips. You tell Trash but hesitate about opening any further. Go for it. But what if everything collapses? It'll be a quicker death, at least. Oh, Trash. There's no arguing with that. Carefully, you feel along the opening and push at the rock, widening it bit by bit. Eventually, the hole becomes as big as your head, then even bigger. Until finally it's big enough to climb through. Come on, Trash, we need to go. I'll go ahead. With no better option, you crawl through the opening on your belly, scraping your shoulders, elbows, and knees as you go. It's a bit easier to see here. It looks more natural than the smooth walls of the mine. The cave-in must have opened a way into the cave system. Helping Trash through the hole is slow work, but you eventually have him free of the rubble. In this light, you finally see him. It strikes you just how much he's bleeding. Yeah. Oh god. The cave is more spacious than where you were previously trapped, but still not quite big enough that you can stand up. Crawling on your hands and knees again, this time on an upward incline, you and Trash head onwards. Come on, Trash, we have to do this. Together, you head towards the source of the light until you reach another small opening. You could probably squeeze through, though Trash might have trouble, especially injured. You help him through at first. It seems agonizing for him, scraping through the narrow gap. Oh god. When he's finally out, he drops to the ground. Trash! You squeeze through yourself and come out the other side, bleeding from scratches old and new. Do we still have that med kit? However, nothing compares to the state that Trash is in. Okay, well, lying on the ground, breathing like every rise and fall of his chest is pure torture. Hey, you tear off parts of his shirt and pants to bandage the worst of the wounds, but it won't be enough to stop him from bleeding out eventually. You're not sure what to do, but first things first. You have to get help. You have to find somewhere out of the sun to rest. Come on, Trash. Though hurt and barely conscious, he manages to struggle to his feet with your help. With one of his arms around your shoulder and your arm wrapped around his waist, the two of you start walking. Wherever you came out of the cave, it led you to somewhere new. There is an old road, chipped and worn, and barely even a road anymore, but it must lead to the ruins of our town or something eventually, right? Slowly, you begin to follow it. It feels like hours, and it could very well be that you walk step by painful step of Trash. You walk on, increasingly taking on more of his weight as his strength drains. You owe me a mug of slop after this is over, buddy. Trash is also murmuring, mouth beside your ear, barely coherent things. He's delirious and no longer responding to you. Eventually, you see a tall, imposing metal fence just off the road, or at least what's left of one. It's easy to step through, with more gaps than fence. Hello? Sweat stings your eyes, and you have no free hand to wipe your face with. It doesn't matter since the sun keeps you half blind anyway. The horizon shimmers in the heat of the wasteland, and you can't be sure if the vague shapes you see in the distance are real or not. But you keep walking. Is that like a microphone? You're exhausted, heart thudding painfully in your chest for so long, tired bones pushed against the point of breaking. Suddenly, all of Trash's weight goes dead, and you buckle under it. You both fall to the ground, and he lies there, unmoving. Trash! Trash! Shake him, slap him, beg him to wake up. Should I really shake someone who's been heavily injured? I'm definitely not gonna slap him, for God's sake. We're just gonna beg him to wake up. Don't want to cause more physical injuries. Please, Trash, get up. Wake up, please. He doesn't stir and look inches from death. You try to pick him up again, and try to drag him. You're not strong enough. Frustrated tears finally start to spill, mingling painfully with the sweat. Dude, just quickly look around, see if you can find anything that'll help. You're not strong enough. Well, you're gonna have to find some other way to be strong. Making a decision, you get to your feet and back away from his still body. For the first time, you realize how much of Trash's blood had dried on your clothes. You take one step, and then another, then you're running towards the distant blurs that may or may not be mirages. Help! You cry out to anyone who might hear you in the world that has forsaken you. Please help us. You run and run until your legs fail and you fall. Then you lie in the dirt and shout until your throat closes. Remaining strength fading, your head falls back. The sky is an eerie pale blue. If this is going to be the last sight you'll ever see, well, it's not bad. You start staring up at the blue until a black shape descends and blots it out. Barely clinging to consciousness, a voice that trickles into your ears, distorted and muffled. It's another being. Well now, this is interesting. Uh-oh. What's interesting? You better be good. Salvation. Is there really salvation? 4 days later. Oh my gosh. And you're awake. Did you get Trash? Even after the past few days, you still can't get over the simple pleasure of soft, clean sheets and 4 walls to keep you safe and sheltered. You rise and get dressed, simple clothes, but new and clean. They might as well have been made of silk, how soft they feel against your skin. Skin that had been so damaged by the journey, reddening by the sun, worn by the sand, cut and ripped by muties and falling rock. Now almost healed. In 4 days, most of the cuts and scratches have disappeared entirely, and the worst of them, the ones that are still healing, are at least clean. Once again, you marvel at how far you've come from that moment, lying in the dirt, waiting to die. Well, now, this is interesting. You couldn't see where the voice had come from at first, fighting the encroaching unconsciousness. You tried to focus. How on earth did you get here, little thing? Well, obviously I traveled here, somehow. It was a person, another person. A large man in camel gear stood over you, looking down with a bemused expression. Are you a military person? My friend, help him. That was all you could manage before you blacked out. You had been brought over to what turned out to be a military base, manned by nearly 40 surviving members of the military force. Yay! The shock of it all hasn't quite worn off yet. Lana? You turn to see one of the less intimidating residents of the base in the doorway. A mousy older gentleman with a thin, deeply lined face and warm brown eyes. He told you to call him Gamma, and is resident scientist around here. Hey Gamma, you better not be one of those creepy scientists that locked me in that stasis. Sorry to bother you, but he's asking for you. It takes a moment, but your heart does a flip. He's awake? Gamma smiles. He's awake. Yay! You rush through the corridor accompanied by Gamma. On the way, you pass by numerous muscled men in army fatigues. Being surrounded by people once again is still such a strange feeling, and you can't help but naturally flinch away from them as you pass. But they bandaged him up and gave him a bed and allowed you to take medicine for him from their stock. For the past few days, he had been slowly improving, but still hadn't managed a moment of consciousness long enough to say more than a couple of mumbled words. Now he's sitting propped up in his bed, eyes open. When he sees you, he manages a weak smile. Hey buddy, how's it going? Aww. We should hug him. Hopefully and not squish his bones to death. You throw your arms around him, careful of his wounds. The relief is too much, and suddenly tears are beginning to surge to the surface. Hey now. His Trash's eyes start to waver. Does it hurt? I'm sorry. Come here. Aww. Cupping your face in his hands, he brings you close and touches his forehead to yours. I'll just excuse myself. Thanks, Gamma. You're vaguely aware of Gamma leaving you behind. After a moment of closeness, Trash pulls back. His eyes are no longer wet. They're sharp. Are we alone now? What happened? His hands move down to grab your arms just above the elbows and hold on, hard. This is an army base, right? These guys are military. Well, the fact that they looked at me bemused is slightly creepy. Like, I definitely don't feel safe. Like, human beings are, like, more amused at how I got here than, you know, worrying about whether or not I'm dying or not when I'm on the ground is a little bit uneasy, but yeah, keep going. I think I'm starting to lose my voice. So much reading. Yeah? Have they asked you where you came from? Well, of course, we did just wander onto their patch. No, did they ask you where you came from? You realize that he means the Easter Initiative. The Stasis Project. Oh god. They haven't asked about that, and you haven't volunteered the information either. When you tell Trash that, he relaxes a fraction. Good. Whatever you do, don't mention it. If these guys really are remnants of the military, that might be their project you walked out of. Oh god. He makes it sound so dark. You know, neither of us would be alive right now if they hadn't taken such good care of us, and probably taken tons of DNA samples from us too. Lana, listen to me. No matter how nice they've been or how good they are, if they find out that their project was a total failure and you're the only one to make it out alive, you don't know what that kind of news can do to a person. Maybe it is safer to keep all the information about the hidden lab to yourselves. Okay, I won't say anything. Trash finally lets go of your arms and falls back into the pillows. He's still weak from his injuries. Hey, I know I've been sleeping a lot lately, but is it super lazy of me to just take a teeny tiny nap? His eyes are closed before you can even answer. That's fine. You go visit him a lot over the next few days. Okay, I have to stop at this point. I think my voice is going. So, I'm going to end it off here. And yeah. Or I didn't end it here, depending on my editing. Save. Yes.